Greetings, my wonderful Jellyspoons, and welcome back to another episode of Monday Madness, the Monday show I invented where I talk about anything and everything. And today, just before we start, I do want to let you know that this will probably be the last episode of Monday Madness until around October time. You see, next week, I am doing something very, very important, finally, which I've been waiting for a very long time, and it does mean that I will be out of commission for a few weeks afterwards. So I could frantically start filming content and backlog it and upload it for you guys, but to be honest, I am already busy trying to do a lot of work before I have several weeks off for recovery time, and it just won't fit into my schedule. I have finished all my current projects, all my current cosplay. The only one I'm currently still doing is my podcast project because that will take a lot longer to do, but everything else, with the exception of my Mollymauk coat, which is going to be about a year in the making, everything else is now finished and complete. So I will be editing pictures and a music video and things like that while I am in recovery, assuming I am conscious enough most of the time. And if I am awake enough, and I will probably be very bored at some points of not being able to be actively doing things, I will try to record some more episodes of my Lucian fanfic for you guys, and I might record some more chapters of the Peter Pan story. So those will be videos with a voiceover and not me, because I will not be active enough to get in front of a camera. But don't worry, it is all good things. It is a positive surgery that is happening. It is all good things that are happening. I do appreciate that I didn't say surgery beforehand, but fuck it, most of you know anyway. Basically, it's exciting, it's cool, I'm very excited, but it is going to take me out of commission for a while, so there may not be any Monday Madnesses for a while unless I decide to do some voiceover recording. So what am I going to talk about today then? Well, this video is one of my hold myself accountable videos. I'm going to talk you through some of the projects that I have lined up in my head that I want to do next. There are things that I'm going to be doing once I have fully recovered, things I'm going to be working on while I'm in recovery, all these different things like that. But basically, what can you expect from me in the next sort of year and a half? Alright, let's do it. The first one is very obvious, and it's one that you guys know about already. I've talked about it on this channel plenty and on Instagram and TikTok and things like that. And that is the Black Dog Podcast. Hang on a sec. And that is the Black Dog Podcast. Look, I've made badges, aren't they friggin' cute? Look at them. Which way around is the camera? There it is. Ah. Aren't they adorable? At some point these will be available in the shop, but because the podcast literally isn't out yet, I don't think anyone will want one yet. So if you want one, let me know and I can probably make a bunch of them. But for now, they are just a thing that I am wearing and a few other people in my life. Currently, I'm in the process of editing the final few scripts before I send them out to my actors, and I'm also in the process of casting the second half of the show. So the first half is very nearly cast, and then the rest of it is going to be cast as we move through it. The plot has not been changed. I have not changed my mind on that. I made some decisions, big ones, and I'm sticking with them, and all the characters and things like that. The main people have already been cast. The bulk of this has happened already, and there are some more things that are coming up as we go along. I already have a fantastic crew of people who are all ready and willing to jump in and be my voice actors in a Discord channel. They are all fantastic. If you guys would like to do any of the art or anything like that for me, if you want to do anything to do with the podcast, then let me know either in my comment sections or let me know in an Instagram DM. I'm still working through quite a few of them, but it will pop up and I will see it eventually, especially while I'm in recovery. I'll be able to reply to so many messages. Also, quickly while I'm thinking about it, my Ko-fi shop and my Etsy shop will be shut for a month and a half while I'm in recovery because I just will not be able to do character message commissions. I have finished all of the ones that were currently on the list, so you will be getting those this week if you have ordered one of those. To everyone else who might want one, please hold fire until around about November time when I'll be reopening everything and I'll be able to get back into my cosplays and do my costumes again. And now back to the podcast. It is still being called The Black Dog, purely because it was supposed to be a working title for a really long time, but now it's got to the point where I just can't think of anything else I'd rather call it. So it is going to just be called The Black Dog, the story of the Black Dog. It now does have an Instagram and a TikTok page, so go look for The Black Dog Podcast. It is on Instagram and it is on TikTok as well, and I am following both of them, so if you see Morcus Noise follows them, then you'll know it's the right account. So if you want to go follow those, I'm posting little bits here and there, and as we start recording more and more, I'll post you some snippets and some bits of the script and things like that. At the moment, it's just fairly... well, it was mostly so I could get the handle, really. So there's not a lot on there, it's very minimal, but they are there if you want to go and follow those to set yourself up for the future. As ever with the Black Dog Podcast, I am hoping to get all of the episodes recorded, so everyone's voice lines and things like that, by the end of the year, early 2024, and then I will spend the majority of 2024 editing it and putting it all together, and then the first batch of episodes should come out maybe around Halloween, something like that. If I can do it earlier, I absolutely will. If not, Halloween's as good a month as any, so why the hell not? Alright, let's move on to the next project in Morcu's mind. I came up with this idea very early on this year and I've tried to implement it a little bit, but I haven't actually made too many costumes so far this year. I've tried to scale myself back a little bit and work on ones that I really, really want to. So I've got an ongoing project which I am titling Making Costumes Until Someone Hires Me. And it's partly a joke and partly true. And the partly true part is that I would love to get into costuming and making things officially and professionally at some point, not just for myself and my friends. And the jokey part is that I know I'm not there yet. And so I'm hoping that in the process of making all of these costumes that I love, I've already got better. Just look back at my cosplay videos on this page and I can literally see in real time how much better I have got and how my skills have improved and how much quicker I've got as well. And I caved and got a sewing machine. That also did help as well. So the ultimate goal, of course, of the series of making costumes until someone hires me is to be hired essentially at some point or be able to work for myself and do things like that. But also is to hone and work on my skills, which are getting better. And because I'm making costumes that I absolutely love, I get to put in all the time and effort and energy. And this is because for me, when I cosplay, I do not want to ever cosplay a character I do not care about. I would never cosplay a character I didn't know, that I hadn't seen most of or some of the source material for. And so every single thing I have ever made for cosplay and costuming has been very important to me. You have the hugely important stuff like Raistlin Megere, my Mollymauk, my Kingsley, my Peter Pan content and things like that. And then you have the things that I have really loved, but not quite as much as those ones, like my Ashton and my De Todd, things like that. So everything I love and have a deep, deep passion for, and I'm hoping to use this in the future to create more of them. Speaking of which, one of the next cosplays in my project list, which anyone who has backed me on Ko-fi this year will know about because I put it in my target goal. Thank you to everyone who's done that so far, by the way. I want to make Edward Scissorhands. And no, not the Edward Scissorhands you are thinking of. I want to, in true me style, make the Matthew Bourne ballet version. I just want to dance in the ballet! You have already seen probably my video where I made Count Lilac from Matthew Bourne's Sleeping Beauty. Well, I love Matthew Bourne, as I've probably said many times on this channel already, and I also love Edward Scissorhands, the Matthew Bourne dance version, and that costume has been in my head for years. And on my Pinterest board for years. And I have finally decided that this is a big build. I feel like I am competent enough to make a good stab at it, and I really, really want to. Probably gonna have to have someone to help lace me up into the thing. But yeah, I've been enjoying watching the behind the scenes videos and really getting a feel for how this character works and the different colours and textures and techniques and things that I would do. It is definitely a bigger build and I will not be starting it until at least 2024, but it is 100% on my list. So that is one of the big builds I definitely want to do. In the more immediate future, I have my Poslednie Spytanie music video coming out. Now this is one that I started last year, but then I got a better wig, I made a better costume, I've just made it better and better and better. And my wonderful friends came back. Kat put on a costume this time, Lottie came back in and put on the Kristania outfit. We have been refilming recently. We just wrapped this week filming some bits and pieces, and that is a big thing I'm going to be editing while I'm in recovery in the next few weeks as well. So the Poslednie Spytanie music video will be coming very, very soon. I suppose I should probably include into that I really want to work on my Russian as well. Wait, I have been working on it recently. I have a wonderful Russian friend now who has been giving up so much of their time to help with my terrible pronunciation, and I will attempt right now to remember the first sentence that they helped me to say. Hang on. Я хочу понимать русский язык из-за музыкал Poslednie Spytanie. I know I effed up at least a bit of that, but the general gist was hopefully there. Essentially, to anyone who does not speak Russian in my audience, I hopefully said, I want to understand Russian because of the musical Poslednie Spytanie, which means The Last Trial. It is the Dragonlance musical. Go look it up, it's great. I've done videos on it before, I've done cosplay from it. It's amazing. Anyway, on to the next thing. Another one of my ongoing projects I will sort of dip into and out of over the years is my Peter Pan Through the Ages cosplays. Now, I have already done, I think 7, I counted the other day, 7 Peter Pan cosplays, and I really want to go back in time again. And while I have done a replica of the first stage outfit, I'd like to do replicas of another and another and another. There's one I really want to do which has cool leaves on the hood and a big effect like that. And I'd also quite like to take a stab at replicating the original design that never actually came to be because it got changed a little bit. But the original concept art for one of the Peter Pan outfits, there's a really cool leafy hat I want to include. It all looks really wonderful. So Peter Pan cosplays from over the years throughout history, that's another thing I really want to dig into as well. There's another music video I want to do as well. I had this idea today while I was driving home from work and blasting Shrek the Musical in the car. Now, I am very fortunate in that I have some wonderful, wonderful friends who will happily dress up in costume and do stupid shit with me. And I know for a fact that I have someone who would happily cosplay as Princess Fiona. And I know for a fact I have someone who would happily cosplay as Shrek. And I think I have someone who would do Lord Farquaad. And I obviously would be Donkey. Now, the question I have for you guys, if you have seen Shrek the musical or listened to it, what song do you think I should do? I would quite like to include Princess Fiona, even if she's not singing. I know there's a lot of songs that are just Donkey and Shrek. I will be Donkey, so obviously I have to be in it. Obviously, but I don't mind it being a song mostly between Shrek and Fiona with Donkey a little bit. Maybe we could do Who I'd Be, which is one of my favourite songs from that show, because goddamn does it punch your heart out. And it is mostly Shrek and Fiona, but Donkey's in there as well, even though he doesn't sing very much. We will not be singing. Don't worry, we will not be singing. We will be mouthing along to the song and doing our own actions and things. But I really think that a Shrek, Fiona, Donkey combo, number one, those costumes will be amazing for me to make. And number two, I really love this musical and I'd like to bring it to life. So if you have any ideas on what video you would like to see, what song you'd like to see from Shrek the Musical, let me know in the comments down below. And also, if you have not yet seen Shrek the Musical, please go watch it. It's available on YouTube, or you can download it from, I think, Amazon, and I think it's still on Netflix, or you can buy the DVD. Genuinely so worth it. Please go do it, it's amazing. Alright, so that's another music video I really want to make. Obviously, I am going to be keeping up with my Peter Pan lore and Peter Pan facts content. I want to keep doing things like that. I want to finish reading through all the chapters of the Peter Pan story. I'll be putting them out for free. I'm not making any money out of this. And at some point, I might read through the play as well. Again, completely for free, and I'll just put it up so that people can listen to it. Because if you're anything like me, sitting down to read something, or read a play in particular when it's not being acted in front of you, it's not quite as fun. So listening to someone at least read it and make a stab at the voices could be quite fun. So I will be uploading the Lucian fic, and I will be uploading the Peter Pan chapters and probably the Peter Pan play as well. Speaking of fanfics, I do really need to finish writing my Blood fanfic. It's been on the back burner for a while because I've been doing the podcast, but now I'm nearly finished with the editing of the scripts for that. I might jump back in and do that as well. Hey, if you haven't checked out my Archive of Our Own page, I'm Morcus Noise on there, as with everywhere, so go check it out. I've got a completely finished Critical Role Lucian fanfic. I've also got a complete short work, which is based on the Soldier Poet King song, and all the nuance and the talk around that happened when that quiz came out and everyone was doing, am I a soldier, am I a poet and a king? And I wrote a story based on that. And there's a bunch of other things on there as well. Some ramblings, some musings, some original content, some that's based on Critical Role and things like that. So have a little peruse if you want. It's the same handle, Morcus Noise. I'm not hiding it, it's wherever. There isn't really any smut, I don't think. I don't remember writing any smut. I read it, I don't write it. I haven't really had calls to. If you're reading the Mafia fic, maybe just be aware that there's it's a Mafia fic, you know what you're getting. Anyway, let's move on. There are also some photo shoots that I would really like to do, and I am waiting for my post-surgery recovery body, so again, this is probably going to be 2024 I do these. I am going to be doing the Mollymauk from the Critical Role calendar shoot. I'm doing it. I am absolutely doing it. I'm going to work out more before I do it. I'm going to, because, well, Molly isn't, you know, shredded. He deserves to look good in his photo, and therefore I am going to be attempting to do him justice. I'm also going to be cosplaying from the fic Twine, which is my favourite Mollymauk fanfic out there. I really want to cosplay that Mollymauk. I am going to do it 100%, but that does involve being naked in a demonic summoning ritual, and yeah, I'm going to have to convince someone to be my Caleb for that. Cross that bridge. There is also another shoot that I would like to do quite soon. Spoiler alert, skip ahead a couple of minutes if you haven't heard the finale of the Magnus Archives yet. Hint, hint, the photo shoot is going to be the finale episode of the Magnus Archives. I have a wonderful partner who just is Martin. At some point, you will see photos of this wonderful person. They are my Martin, 100%. And this person has agreed to be my Martin in a photo shoot. So that will probably happen. I'll be the John, being all angsty and all the things that happen, spoiler alert, at the end of the Magnus Archives, and it'll be a really fun photo shoot, it'll be great fun. So that's another idea that I've got in my head that desperately needs to happen. Obviously, my final form, Molly 4.0 coat is an ongoing work in progress. I am planning to have that finished by about 2025. I will attempt to do some more embroidery work on it while I am laid up and recovering, but again, that's a lot of assuming I am coherent enough to do so. And that is, again, a project of love. I don't want to rush it. I am really enjoying what I've got so far, and I'm going to make some extra bits and pieces here and there too. So it's ongoing, but it is still in there. It's part of my project. It's never left my head. And we might be coming to the end of this for now. I have a few other project ideas, but they're not fully formed yet. There are stories I want to tell. There are things I want to do. There's a Peter Pan show I want to put on, but that will involve raising a substantial amount of money, which I'm not ready to be in charge of just yet. At some point, I will do a video where I will talk you through the Peter Pan show experience I really want to put on, and then hopefully I'll be able to do it. But for now, let me just say it's an idea. I've got it in my head. People who are close to me know what the idea is, and I'm going to put out happy vibes until I'm in a position where I can hopefully do it. But it is in there. The last thing I will say then is that I am one of the very lucky people who manage to scrimp and save and get enough money to, and refresh the page enough times to, get a ticket for a photo opportunity with Taliesin at MCM in October. I am, no matter how recovered I am going. It is happening. So if you are going to MCM in London in October this year, if you are there on the Sunday, I will be there too. I'll be going to the Critical Role panel and I'll be getting my photo with Taliesin Jaffe dressed as Kingsley. I am beyond excited because I have, from a horrendous series of unforeseen circumstances and things that happened and went tragically wrong on the day, I have not been able to wear my Kingsley to a convention yet. And it is horrendous. And therefore I am incredibly excited to run up to Taliesin Jaffe and get a photo with him dressed as Kingsley. I have completely revamped my Kingsley. I have made stripy new trousers. He has new boots. I have put a treasure map lining inside the coat that I made, which a lot of you got really excited about. And thank you so much to everyone who got excited about my Kingsley cosplay when I first posted it, because that took me an intense 3 days of making it. And we had 3 very blurry, not full body shots of the official art. And I managed to have it ready somehow for the second half of the one shot that Kingsley was in the following week. I was in the cosplay gallery and it was amazing and it was wonderful and it was just a chaotic experience, but I absolutely loved it. I have heightened the coat now. It has a treasure map lining inside. I am going to edit the wig. I'm going to change a few things. I might make some new horns, but I do have time. So that is also on the list of things that I will be doing and editing and making and things. But most of my Kingsley is done, so if I get a chance, I'll remake the horns and things. I just wanted to add it in here at the end because I am incredibly excited to go to MCM. It's going to be great. I hope to meet loads and loads of critters. I am sorry I can't be there on the Saturday when I think the actual official meet is probably happening, but I just can't swing it. I have a lot of Halloween work to do, so I am able to take 1.5 days off and that is it. So the Sunday for the panel and the photo, that is what I am doing. I'm incredibly excited and I hope to see some of you there. If you see me, please run up and say hi, because I'll be wearing red contact lenses, which means I will be able to see a little bit, but not a lot, and I'll be way too excited to notice everyone, so please run up, say hi if you see me. I love meeting people, it'll be amazing. Alright, my wonderful Jellyspoons, that brings me to the end of this episode of Monday Madness. Sorry it was a kind of weird, janky, all over the place one. It was mostly because I have a lot of things. I quite literally, behind this camera, I have a room full of stuff that I need to pack and sort and organise and all this stuff that just needs to happen and then go back to work and do all the various things. Anyway, I love you all. You're all fantastic. If you want to support me on Ko-fi and Patreon, please do. But do remember that my shops will be closed for about 1.5 months while I'm in recovery. I adore all of you. You are fantastic. See you on the other side.